People dream of the day that they can finally catch Dreaming Tree. People came to New York chasing Cortez. And some, for the first time ever, after decades upon decades, heard the elusive Down by the River cover. We'll talk Dave Matthews Band MSG Night 1. We'll have a little bit of fun. And we'll talk about some current events and concert changes coming your way in 2025. The DMB post-show stream starts now.
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998. And if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. Brooklyn, what up? Shout out Queens. We get the money. Staten Island, what up? Harlem. Shout out to Store South, aka Madison Square Garden. Westchester County, what up? Nassau County, what up? Shout out Ronkonkoma, White Plains, Newark, what up? Elizabeth, what up? Jersey in the building. Shout out Yonkers, Mount Vernon, money earning Mount Vernon, what up? South Bronx, what up? 161 of River Ave, what up? Shout out Queens. Fire Aaron Boone. Nah, for real. Fire Aaron Boone. It's not a game. What up? What up? It's your boy Conserviz 34. Thank you for joining the DMB post-show stream. And I am getting things set up for our first guest. We're going to go straight into this person here. Let me just get him on the screen in just a moment. You'll see him on here. But we want to hear from the fans. I got some video clips from fans. They sent cell phone video to me of their review of the show. Just some brief thoughts. But first, we have live on the air a fan who got something they were waiting for their entire DMB journey, which was a live Cortez the Killer. So without further ado, we're gonna bring on Jojo. Let's. How's it going?
What's up, Marcus?
I am doing well. So tell us about your journey before we even get to the show. How did you end up in New York City for
So lucky
night
for
one?
me, work was like, I need you in New York City this week. I'm like, I played him. I'm like, this week. I'm like, I don't know. And they're like, gotta come. I'm like, fine. And I was like, oh, DMB's in town. I'll go. So we came, and my wife came with me, Jen, and she's like, we'll go night one and we'll leave. And I was like, okay, fine. So last night we went out, and I was like, well, Warren Haynes is in town. What if he shows up on night two? I've never gotten Cortez the Killer. And I was like, I would cry if we went night one and he showed up night two. So she's like, well, then we'll stay another night. And I texted you, and I was like, we're not staying night one, we're staying night two. And for the first time in my life, I got it. And I have to tell you, for anyone that chases a song, that was the greatest Dave moment in my life. That's all I've ever wanted. I've been to a lot of shows. I think tonight was 66, which might not be a lot compared to some other people, but that's a long time to be like, damn, I wanted to hear that. And I'm done. The set was pretty slow. Outside of that, I don't care anymore. Like a friend of mine's like, hey, don't judge what you hear, just like enjoy it. And I enjoyed it tonight, but that made my life from a DMV perspective.
And that's what it's all about. This journey is about getting those songs and those moments that you've hoped for. Another one of those moments here that a lot of fans always are hoping for is Dreaming Tree. What was it like to hear Dreaming Tree here?
So, it's funny because I was like, that came on. I was like, there's so many people around us that sat down. They didn't know what it was. And I'm like, that's fun. Like, I don't judge people anymore because it's kind of like, yeah, like, oh, what a boring song. I'm like, no, this is special. You get it. And Jen's chased forever the here on out. And we got that tonight too. And with the last time we heard that, we were in the Gorge. And it's just one of those things where you have to respect people who are like, I'm a Dave fan. What does that mean? Well, it's like my 10th show, my 5th show, my first show. Like, everybody has their own thing. But I've come to realize, like, every night is special. And if you don't love it for what it is, don't come. But, like, there's a lot of hate. And I've told you this a million times. Our days are getting numbered. Like, every year is like, are they coming back tomorrow? Like 2025, we're all like, I think they'll be there. Great. But there's not a lot of time left. So enjoy everything you get.
All right, and we got the Hammer in chat, and I was talking to him on, messaging him throughout the show. It was his 5th Cortez. When you live in the tri-state area,
Whoa.
When you live in the tri-state area, you get songs like Cortez because Warren will
That's
pop in.
crazy. 5th? This 5th time?
Yep. But here's the
Wow.
thing. This is the first time Dreaming Tree has ever been played at Madison Square Garden. So, yeah, fans from this New York City, New Jersey, Connecticut area, they've gotten it at other venues. But this is the first ever
A lot of
Dreaming
people
Tree
did not
at the
know
venue.
that song. A lot of them did, and they all sat down. I was like, bro, this is epic. But I was like, whatever. Like, I don't judge anymore. I don't. I enjoy all of it.
And the beauty, though, that happened with Captain last year. Mark Whitfield comes on. People were quiet in certain pockets. I'll say this. One thing I like about the fall tour is sometimes you get quieter crowds in certain areas. And then if they play something like that deep cut and people are quiet, it beats people yelling and screaming over the band. So
Yep.
that's a pro there.
Good recording, right?
Right. Yeah, but not even recording, just for me taking in the show. Even if, like, let's say, forget me, I record a lot of the show, just to be able to hear everything in that moment. It's better if they're quiet or they go to the bathroom than they talk and have a conversation right there. We got that last show at Singing from the Windows. I don't like that song that much, but the moment was overpowered by people yapping. What was the environment like in the building for tonight's show?
So it's funny. I was like, it was like 7:35, and I was like, this place is empty. And I was worried. I'm like, they're not coming on until 8. And then everyone filled in. They came out. And look, it's Madison Square Garden. Do you know, for all I've ever been to Dave, this is my first time at MSG. And, like, I think it's kind of overrated, like SPAC. But they love playing here.
Hey, chill. We're going to have to cut you off there.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. But it was a good show. It was a really slow set tonight. And I'm okay with it because I got Spaceman. I got Cortez. Like, what else can you ask for? Tomorrow is going to be fire. It's going to be off the chain.
Well, yeah, you do have, Dreaming Tree is a kind of one of those.
And Dreaming Tree.
Yes, but you have Dreaming Tree, Looking for a Vein, even Spaceman's a little more mellow.
I like that song a lot, by the way.
So you don't really have a lot of fast-paced mainstream hit songs. I'll back you up. In the middle of the set, for the second time this tour, we have a main set. I'll back you up with the full band chilling on stage. So there was no ants, no satellite, no crash into me. So those songs that kind of really drive people up and get them pumped up wasn't there. And then Crush closes out the show.
Oh, can I ask you, what do you think of that for a closer?
So I think it is not a good song to close to. And I'll be talking later when I give some of my thoughts about how we can fix Crush, because I think overall Crush needs to be revived.
I like the outro, but the song for a closing on an encore, I was kind of like, eh. But bro, it doesn't matter. Like, we got Cortez.
The whole show.
Save the whole show for me.
And that's what it's all about. Hey, thank you so much for being on, Jojo. Get some rest and enjoy your time in the Big Apple. All right, take care.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that was Jojo, and he's from Massachusetts, just to give you guys context. So he does have certain times where he is down there for work. But he was for someone who never had been to MSG there, despite he's been to SPAC a few times. I've hung out with him and his wife and his kids. His son is a special teams coach at UTEP. And shout out to the Miners. They got to play Tennessee tomorrow. So it's gonna be a tough one. But we've seen some crazy upsets this year. You never know. Literally, you never know. If Vanderbilt can beat Alabama, you never know. So let's just see some of the comments. Brett says, how do you open a sold out weekend with Old Dirt Hill? Well, when you have so many packed moments, I think you start slow. You pace yourself. This is a marathon. But I understand. I would not be like, oh, I'm going to MSG to have Old Dirt Hill. But the reality is, this band is, as Jojo mentioned, listen, we don't know how many more years they're going to be at this level and then how many years they're going to continue playing. And I think, this show has, you have Old Dirt Hill to start slow, and then Tripping Billy's pops out. And then Dreaming Tree slows down, but then, there's different. So it's an interesting show flow, but they have to save all this stuff for the entire weekend to be spread out. That's really what it comes down to. Brett says, I was there as well, and the crowd was ready to get blown away. Is it Fabio or Fab? Yeah, Fabio from Long Island says Cortez went long, but it was great. And that is one of the things that you see from. That's an observation I've noticed from the fan base, that some people believe Cortez is too long, and it's okay to think that, because it does spread out. And really, you look at this set and you have a Cortez and a Down by the River back to back. That's less space for some other things. And let me go and transition over to the set list here. So here's what we have for a set list. And just to go that, Old Dirt Hill, yeah, I whoever guessed that opener, you were just thinking of a random song. Maybe down in West Palm Beach, they start with Old Dirt Hill, or somewhere that has more rural connections, not in New York City. But again, you have to, I think it's a pacing thing, and I'd rather them pace themselves through this weekend than try to go hard and then for night one and then night 3 isn't as good, or night 2 isn't as good, because many people are mixing and matching. Someone like me, I could not go tonight or tomorrow because I got my boys getting married tomorrow. My college buddy is getting married. So, and Brett says, I guess I expected a Gorge type set. Even the Gorge has its moments nowadays. I mean, this last year's Gorge, the encores weren't like the previous couple of years. But it is different, and that's a different part of the tour. They're at the end of the year. It's almost the holidays. They also are on a short tour. Rich T says they were rushing through the first 10 songs. That's obviously why later. Yeah. So they were trying to get to that moment. The Hammer says getting Rooftop is awesome. The bridge of Rooftop is, I've always thought, as most writers, that Dave's pen game has tapered off, and that's just a natural thing. You're hungrier, you have more life experiences to express in your first couple albums. But I love the bridge of Rooftop. There, and then the additional kind of the additional pizzazz, the I want you to, they extend that out there. And Brett says Dreaming Tree was so fast. It was funny though. I called my dad about something, and then he called me back during Dreaming Tree, so I paused the Sirius XM stream, and the next 2 songs were When the World Ends and Madman's Eyes. So I resumed Dreaming Tree, and then I never listened to When the World Ends and Madman's Eyes. I mean, I've heard those songs a million times. So it's like, it was funny because, and then Looking for a Vein, I was like, Dave knew my dad was going to call, and he made 3 songs, three songs we don't really need to be played in a row. And Looking for a Vein, I believe that's leading 3 shows. Warehouse has been played 3 shows as well. So no song has been played more than 3 shows, because it's just the way they've set things up. So what I want to do now is let's continue to go through. So Down by the River and Cortez, Warren comes out. For him to come out night 1 was a special thing. I thought he was going to come out later in the actual weekend, like maybe tomorrow. Yeah, so like it was like for Warren to be announced halfway through the first show was a special thing, and you get 2 bangers out. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. Does Warren come on and, well, they play Tripping Billies. I've seen Warren on Tripping Billies. Does Warren come on 41? Does another guest pop out for night 2? It'll be interesting to see what happens on that end. But I think walking away from this set, if you get Dreaming Tree, I'll back you up. Tripping Billies. And then if you like Warren, you get Cortez and Down by the River. Some people may have wished that Cortez was replaced with 2 other songs. Maybe, hey, I want a Raven. Like, you know, I don't want this drawn out Cortez. I want a Raven. I want a Sugar Will. I want something that hasn't been played all year. I mean, Down by the River hadn't. And Cortez that has the first 4-band Cortez we've gotten this year. And then the encore, we get Here on Out and Crush. Now, let me say this, and then we'll get to some other fan reactions via video. Crush needs to be fixed. And I say this as somebody who can listen to a 30-minute Sand from Fish, who can listen to an extended song from Goose or Humphreys McGee, and I've seen these bands and enjoyed them. It's not like I have a short attention span. I just think you have to have more creativity. What's wrong with Crush? First, there's the song in general is just a longer form song. The next thing I point to is there's almost 2 solo points for Tim. And this song does not need 2 solo points from Tim. And then you have a horn portion. And all of this is pretty much been the same for the last 15 years since Rashawn Ross has joined the band. But really for the last 15 years, it's been set. Because he joined in, 05? They announced him and stuff. But really for the last 15 years, it's kind of been, okay, this is how Crush is. Now, you can say the same thing about Dreaming Tree. They've used the Chocolate Rain interpolation, but Dreaming Tree is hardly played. So whenever you get it, you're happy. But when Crush is played as much as it's played, you got to do some mixing up of things. And to me, you can cut the whole pre-planned jam part of Crush in half. You could cut that in half. Because it is like no one would be like, "Oh, I need more." And this would be my policy if I was elected, chief of Setlist or Setlist czar of of DMB. I would say this: play Crush through like the lyrics, the all the stuff through the da 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 da, and then. Once you get to where you get to the jam, just kind of take the volume down to nothing. And then somewhere towards the end of the main set, do the ba 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 da da ba 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 da 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 da, and even change those horns. A couple of times I've heard some different horn arrangements, sax and trumpet, doing their thing a little bit differently. But that part, it feels like 3 different songs, but it's not a jam band. And why do I say that? Because when jam bands have a long version of a song, they'll change the key, they'll change the tempo, they'll have a cover in the middle of that song, and not like Jimmy Brickhouse, like a fun cover sandwich where they throw a cover in the middle of it. I've seen Humphreys do it. I've seen Goose do it. Fish has done it. They throw in a cover and then they go back to another part of that song, but it's always different. Crush is always the same, and it's always as long as it is. And like Stella in that movie, when I was a kid, Crush needed to get his groove back or go away. So that's my little 2 cents on Crush. Let's go ahead and hear some thoughts from some fans. So first, we're going to go ahead and get Robin here. Let me go ahead and put this video up. And I think her friend that is with her as well. So let's play this video here so you guys can hear from them.
All right, it's me.
Armand.
And Armand.
Robin.
I'm Robin. And yeah, so night one, very reminiscent of night one of Monique. He wasn't there, I was there.
Praise be.
Minus a couple of songs. It was a lot of repeats, which was okay, but whatever. I love Nancy's. I love Digging Ditch. Not taking a video of you, I'm sorry.
Cortez was awesome.
Yeah, Warren Haynes coming out. Yo, Down by the River.
Oh, that was sick.
Had a tear in my eye, singing it out. I have video, probably me singing over the song. Yeah. Night two, I think, is going to be a little bit better.
I hope so. I think we'll get a few more bangers in there, but
yeah,
nothing. I wasn't upset with it.
BTW, the poster is still for sale. Connor.
A few of them. I think they're almost selling out.
Connor.
But the weekend poster seems to be.
The weekend poster is not selling for anybody.
Like, it's nice, but like it's not like, you know, what people are really looking for. It's a nice poster though. A lot of people want.
This is the crowd leaving. We're waiting for our friends. We're waiting for some of the Rat Crew. Yeah, my big takeaways were definitely Digging a Ditch and dancing. Nancy's.
I just hope they don't leave the good songs for Sunday and they give the real fans something tomorrow.
Yeah. Because the Crush encore, not about it.
I love Crush, but...
Love a Crush, but not as an encore.
Yeah. That's a makeout song.
But yeah. I'm interested to see what other people think. And yeah, we're going to try and find our friends. So thanks, Marcus.
All right, so that was Robin and Armand. And I met him at SPAC. All right, so that's Robin. We're going to next go over to my boy, Rob Williams. Hold on a minute, player. Great guy. And he came up, shipped up to New York City. Let's just hear a brief, this is a quick one.
Hey Marcus, what's happening, man? Your boys here in the Big Apple. Tonight's show's still kind of numb. You know, fun fact about me is that was my first MSG show. And, you know, Warren Haynes, Cortez, that kind of set the tone for tonight. Dave messing up Crush, you know. He's always messing up something, but man, it's MSG. The highlight of the night was meeting some amazing people, as always. You know, that's why we do this. But all in all, it was it kind of had Mohegan Night One vibes, but I was digging it. You know, big city, man. Gotta love it. Hope you're doing well. We'll see what night two has in store.
All right. Yeah. So Dave did mess up Crush there. But again, that's, you know, it's not about if he messed it up or not. It shouldn't close shows. But it is what it is. And in a show like this, that's the thing is I give the band diplomatic immunity for certain times. And that's what pretty much happened. They played Dreaming Tree. Then they played When the World Ends, Madman's Eyes Looking for a Vein. Vein being one of the three songers played 3 times. So when you have Dreaming Tree in a show, Tripping Billy's Dreaming Tree for the 2-3 spot, hey, they're going to close out with Crush. It is what it is. And a lot of the crowd likes it. And also, if you don't like it, that's a great way to leave early. And getting out of MSG, there's always a crowd. It's always crowded because you're pouring out into the largest city in the country. So it's always just something that if you don't like it, after here on out, they're only playing one other song, right? Given the way this thing is going 3 nights in a row, hey, get out, leave during Crush. And that's what I always look at it. Like, especially, I think they did it in Mansfield last year. If you notice my multicam, I walked out during Crush and then I beat the traffic. So if you're someone who goes to a lot of shows or you kind of just sick of it, closing out the encore, I think that's a blessing to just say, all right, hey, I'm gonna get out early, right? And you can be like, oh no, you gotta cherish every moment. And if someone wants to, cool, but I'm leaving. Right? I'm leaving. Someone said the 8-minute, they should do the 8-minute version. Yeah, it should not be more than 8 minutes. And Bonnie actually did that. Shout out to Bonnie. Actually left. Crush started, made the earlier Long Island Railroad train. Yeah, and those trains, I'm telling you, at MSG, the Long Island Railroad, Metro North, what's the one that goes to New Jersey? Shout out to Frank the Tank. He takes public transit still. And so whatever goes to New Jersey, because I'm a Metro North guy and I know the Long Island Railroad because I've been out there. But those trains, I'm telling you, I've tried to leave the show on time, even slide out of my seat right at the end and go from there to Grand Central. And it's like the train leaves right before you can physically get there without sprinting from there to Grand Central. Oh, New Jersey Transit. Okay. NJ Transit. Yeah. So, Mike's taking New Jersey Transit right now. The dispensary guy, Mike. We have Mike S. Shout out to Mike Saha. And then we have Mike, the dispensary guy. So that's pretty much how I feel about that. And by the way, let's get this stat out now, just because we're talking about it, right? So with Crush, they've closed, like if you take everything that we have data from in the DMB world, it's been played in the encore Crush 30 times across the entire, since it was started being played in 98. It's been played 15 times in the encore the last 2 years. But again, it's a way to get out. It's a way to get out if you want to. And to me, if you play Dreaming Tree, you have Warren come in on 2 songs, and you get I'll Back You Up, and you get some other stuff. Hey, it is what it is. You have a pass to give us Crush at the end, and it gives people a way to get out. And they may do that on purpose to let people slide out. Hey, guys, MSG, hey, MSG goes up to him, Dave, just play a long so song so we can get some of the deep cut fans out of here. Because traffic flow, it does matter. Like when people leave during the encore, it helps traffic flow. All right, let's go to let's see, 52, 53. We're going to go to Kumi next. We'll get him up. We'll get both of his videos up here. And we'll put them side by side. And if you guys want to send me a video, let me know. Message me on social media. I'm on everything, including Blue Sky. If you're on Blue Sky, follow me. I'll be honest, I'm not that big of a fan of Blue Sky. It seems limited. But I know people did move there, and it's kind of, I wish everyone could be on one platform. But I know people were leaving for their personal reasons, and celebrities were like, hey guys, I'm rich. I have a lot of followers, but I have to write a letter to tell you why I'm leaving. Anyway, let me chill. Let me stop. Like, bro, Gabrielle, we don't care. I was never following you. Anyway, let's stay focused.
This is Kumi DMB, also known as DMB Fan JTR, and I'm coming at you from the stairwell at MSG, making my way out. What a show. I didn't expect Warren Haynes to come out tonight. I think we all kind of expected him to be, you know, collabing with the band night 3 for Soulshine. But, man, it was my first MSG experience. I was up in 213, and the acoustics were great. The venue is great. If you have a chance to come to MSG, I definitely recommend it. Man, Down by the River and Cortez the Killer with Warren Haynes. I mean, Radio City 07's what got me into the band. So, like, seeing Down by the River live, finally, that was huge. And obviously Cortez, seeing it full band with Warren, that's just unreal. I mean, Central Park, you think about that album, and those two songs were just killer. I think the band erupted when they saw Cortez. I meant to say Warren on that last clip. The crowd erupted when they saw Warren. But yeah, I mean, the venue, the experience was awesome. I really like the poster as well. I've never had a Mumford actually at any show I've been to yet, which is pretty crazy. But the foil was even cooler. You know, I got here about 3:30 to get in line to try to get the poster early. There were talks that the merch tent would be open inside before you scan your tickets. So I was hoping to be able to do that. But unfortunately, they kept pushing the time back. I heard 5 o'clock first, then 5:30, and they didn't let us in until 6:30. So it was the same time as a normal ticket. And I was really happy to get the foil, though. The foil was awesome.
All right, so let me see. I don't know if he sent a third video. Let me see if we can find it. See, 1, 2. Oh, there's a third one. Let's see. All right, we'll get this one up. We'll get it in just a second. Got a St. John's fan on Twitter saying the Yukon fan would love, I'll back you up. I was like, bruh. First of all, Yukon has a better home record at MSG than St. John's does. Second of all, when we come to town, we literally triple the average attendance. And your coach was Patino doesn't even know how to protect his own office. People were stealing. Some fellow Johnny's fans broke into Patino's office. If you don't know how to secure your own office or secure a win against enough wins to make the tournament, I don't know what to tell you. But I love the Big East rivalries.
All right, part 3. Sorry, I keep getting interrupted. There were some posters, both weekend posters and day posters, still available when I was leaving. So I'm not sure if they sold super well, but I know the foils were obviously gone. The vibe was also crazy in there. I mean, it's MSG, so it's something different, man. I was in 213 today, and everyone was standing, everyone was singing along. The crowd was super engaged. Usually when I go to shows and I'm in like an upper section, you don't see that. You'd see people sitting all show, but it was not like that today. Everyone was engaged, everyone was fired up, and also Dreaming Tree in spot 3, that was amazing. So not only did we see Warren Haynes tonight with 2 amazing covers with him, you know, we also had the Dreaming Tree, and it was a great show. MSG is something different. Definitely recommend it if you get the chance to make it out there. That's all I have for now. Thanks, Marcus, for having me on, and hope to catch up with you soon.
Yeah, I mean, again, are some people going to think it's overrated? Sure. I think with MSG, you have the end of the tour, typically for the fall tour. They're actually going to play it most years. Not every time. They've gone to Brooklyn. They've even gone to Long Island on various years there. And oops, I didn't. Let me put that back. Did Bonnie make it, or who was that in the chat? Let me see. Let's see. We got to get the other one up here. Did Bonnie? Oh, I think she made it back. Bonnie, we hope you made it back on the Long Island. Oh, she's got the 1048 to Long Beach. So she got on her train. She's going to get out to Long Beach. And Mike Saha's like, got the 1023 to Ronkonkoma. Anyone going to Smithtown? Shout out to Smithtown Nissan. Anyone going to Port Jeff? Taking the LIRR to Port Jeff and then taking the ferry back to New London? No, I'm just kidding. That'd be a brutal. I don't even think the ferry goes LA. Anyway, let's look at some of the stats here that I kind of had pulled up. So I talked about the Crush Run. Down by the River. This is the first time since 2015 that they've played full band. Let's go ahead. I'm going to play you what happened earlier this year in Mexico. I actually was able to clip. You can watch this fully on the Mexico Night 2 multicam I put up. And I'll put that in the comments or the description of this video so you guys can watch that. But I have the actual clip from that video. That's what I was doing during the post-show stream is during some of the mediocre songs, I was grabbing stuff and stats and clips. So let's go ahead and we're going to show you just it's a 30-second, just instrumental from Down by the River that Tim did. And the Almanac has it as a song. I think it's just a partial. But let's go ahead. This is what it sounded like. It's coming. So it really just was, it was so small. So really, this is the first time since 2015 that any Dave and Tim or a full band. So I just count it as this is the first time since 2015. Also, the first in the Eastern time zone since it was played in Charlotte that same year. Played at Harvey's in Nevada, Tahoe, Gorge as well. But the last East Coast one was in Charlotte, North Carolina. They also played it in New Jersey that year as well, I believe. So it's hard to get. If we even go to the set list and we go to Down by the River, it is one of those rare things. Cortez has been played much more. 22 known plays over 19 years. You had 4 in 2015, right? And then you had 11 in 07 full band, 1 in 06 full band. Then Dave and Tim, you have 3 and 4 and 06, 07. 1 Dave and Tim play in 09. So it has not been played that much. That's a small sample size of performances. You know, it's not much. And so, Robin, Port Jeff is your hometown. Okay. So you could take the ferry to Connecticut pretty quick and come hang out with us Connecticut DMB fans. Robin, and We have no excuse now. And it's been on one live album and then on 2 live tracks. So back-to-back Neil Young covers for there. So let's go back to the... All right, let's see. What were some other things I was observing? I messed this up. I realized Tripping Billies was night 1, but I was like, imagine if they played the entire Mohegan Night 2 set after Old Dirt Hill. They ended up playing the night 1. Imagine if they played the night. Oh, that would have been brutal. If they played the night 1 Mohegan set for MSG night 1, people would be going. Well, not people. The deep cut lovers who maybe went to Mohegan or saw that set would be like, they'd be going crazy. They'd be protesting the next day. And then this was the first time Dreaming Tree had talked that with Jojo. That's a crazy stat. And yeah, Dave was someone flashed Dave allegedly. Sorry, I'm going through there. I'm hoping, I was hoping it would channel that Woodstock 99 vibes. To me, the bet, like, Don't Drink the Water Now, they should be at that slower tempo. It's too fast. It's not acoustic enough. And this was my other thought. Imagine the Quiet Song being a mid-set, I'll back you up. Like, that's good. I mean, Looking for a Vein was still played, and that's a quiet song, but... All right, let's get to posters. So we got a couple of things here. Let me just get everything set up. First is the poster of the night. This is the MSG Night 1 poster. Thanks to Dan Mumford. Without the Suns, no Suns. Yeah, let's get that all the way up for you. I like this poster. It's a little less, I mean, it still is apocalyptic, but it has a different kind of feel to it than some of the other ones he's done. And while he has very similar prints at times, I believe they all fulfill various markets. So if you're in New York, if you're at Alpine, wherever it is, wherever it is. Oh, someone's saying there's a possible leak of the poster. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Tune in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Nah. But so yeah, I like it. I like the Fire Dancer kind of where they have the Times Square screens. Now, if you look closely, I believe on Madison Square Garden, you see what looks like a piece of art that looks like Walk Around the Moon cover in the primary colors used for this theme. That looks like that's the Walk Around the Moon album cover. And anytime you add Madison Square Garden, anytime you use Madison Square Garden as a muse for this paint, like for New York photos, I like it. Okay, it's official now. Yes, it's the Luke Martin. Tomorrow is Luke Martin, and let me get a picture of that for you guys. It's being posted on the poster group, so I can tell you it is. It is Luke Martin. Just wanted to make sure it was officially out. You know, I ain't trying to. Concert. He told everyone. Nah. Yeah, whoever feels like they got the drop, y'all tell them. All right, let me get this set up. But I like this Mumford as the night 1 poster. We'll get that night 2. Let's see. I just got to save this. Next up, we're going to look at the Weekend poster, and then we'll look at the Soulshine poster, and then finally we'll get you over to Let's see. So this is MSG Night 2. But let me go ahead and pull out. We'll get that last. Okay, so there you go. Night 1 poster. Cool. Great one. Not a dud. MSG has had some misses, and they've had some posters collecting dust. I wonder how these did. Let me know in the comments if you saw if it sold out or not. But next up, we got the Methane. Okay. In some ways, this is better than some of their bottom barrel, lowest of low posters. Art is subjective, but listen, sometimes Methane, they not hitting. And you know why I know they're not hitting? Because even the poster collectors don't buy it at certain stops. We saw the Seville one sold out. Some of that was because of demand, but that one was better than most. But this is the Methane. So what I want to do is, again, I talk about this almost every 5 shows, but this is the 5th show. Congratulations. When it comes to Methane, I think what happened for this fall tour is perfect. They're not doing Soulshine. They're not doing Night 2 now that that's official, right? From the poster groups. And they haven't done Night 1. They're getting a weekend poster. What have I been saying throughout this entire late summer and fall tour? They need to go on the bench. It's not a knock to them. It's more of a best interest for unique art of various kinds to get some shine. Now, there are birds. There is a history in New York City of having these pigeon coops on rooftops. But when you look at the Mumford print and you have New York City, and then you have this poster where it's the same generic characters and forms that are always used on Methane posters, and we've had over 100 of these Methane posters, and we're all worn out from these it's like a plug and play type thing. It's time for Methane to be reduced. This is exactly why. Now, some people like this poster, and that's fine. Art is subjective. But a lot of the fan base is sick and tired of these Methane posters where you've had this man playing the guitar and you've had these birds. Well, Sperry has different girls. Sperry has the but it's like all the girls are like the same theme, right? And I got one of the Sperrys over there. But Sperry doesn't drop like 50 to 60 posters for a given artist. He has the theme, and each one of them is unique, and he goes across various looks and styles. These Methane posters, we've seen these birds, we've seen the colorways, we've seen that man playing the guitar, and it just feels like it's copy and paste. It's not like, oh, we have a theme, but this girl looked like this, and this girl looked like that, and I got to have both of them and collect them. Or this apocalypse looks like this, and this apocalypse looks like that. And these are cool, unique things for each venue. To be fair, sometimes Methane is asked to do a bunch of posters per tour. They've been doing this for a while. DMB's poster scene would not be what it is without them, but it's time to cute without the E. Shout out to Taking Back Sunday from Long Island. They need to be cut from the team. 3 to 4 posters a year max across all of the tours. And guess what? F4D Studios, you know what they did? They made a killer Mohegan Night 1 poster. They've made other posters that have done really well, and the fans have received them, and they're unique views. They should do more posters. Other studios where you have a bunch of different artists, 2 or more artists, they should get more of the load of these tours and reduce Methane. That's my opinion. Many times creatives have to split up. They have a great run. Methane had a great run. I have Methane posters. My first show in Hartford was a Methane poster. But it's time. It's time. Just like Nas says at the beginning of Illmatic. Hey, yo, son, it's time. Word is bond. It's time. Straight out the dungeons of rap. Yeah. It's time. It's time to move on. And I will always say that if I would say that to the people at Methane, right? I'd be like, listen, I know you guys have had this art studio. You guys have had a lot of success with the band, But in my opinion, a lot of these aren't hitting. Now, some people may like it, some people may not. But, you know, if your posters aren't selling out in New York City, you know, maybe it does. Maybe this one does too. But I just think it's like, and maybe the whole point of the poster. Yeah, I'm trying to make sense of this poster, Robin. It is what it is. But I think this tour is a perfect example of what needs to happen going forward, which is one Methane poster and make it the weekend poster. Because you know what? You can have the weekend Methane, have it. The other nights, if I'm only going night 1 and night 2, I don't want to be stuck with the all right, we're going to do this. It's like they spin a wheel. Okay, Tiger Bunny, Farmhouse, and the same 3 colors we use for most of our posters. Right. All right, that's all I'm gonna say on that. All right, let's go and let's have our Soulshine. Let me see. Let's get the next one up. So let's get Soulshine up. All right, let me get my boy John Dix the link as well, so that he can come on to the stream. So we'll try to get some thoughts from John. But this is the Soulshine poster. Todd Slater, it has this print. And shout out to Todd. This poster sold out. Like once I saw the poster, maybe I saw it 5 minutes later, but like this thing sold out rather quickly. You can still buy merchandise on that website as well. Let me go ahead and see if I can also get that website out, because all of this goes towards a great cause, and that is to help the people in Florida and also in North Carolina, Western North Carolina. So let's see, Soulshine MSG. What if they named it the In Memory of Elizabeth Reed concert instead of Soulshine? I think they picked the right Allman Brothers song. All right, so the website, you can buy this t-shirt as well. But let's get to this poster is Todd Slater at his best. You have the waters, you have butterflies, and you have this, what it looks like. Is that an eagle? And this is just a solid print. Right there, you see the t-shirt. I already purchased that. What I love about this is they have this. I purchased this. It ships in January, but I don't have to worry about carrying a t-shirt home. It's going to ship in January. I think I had to pay shipping on it, but I like that idea of buying it and not having to carry it, like get it at the event. You can still pre-order it. They got all the sizes there. And let's take the poster off here as well. And you can get that there. Again, the poster sold out. If you look and try to get the poster, product not available, and it was quick. You can also get the tote bag if you want, and a hoodie. All right, let's get that new poster up. This is where's my? I'm trying to pull up all right, I'm going to change this poster here, or this graphic, so you guys can see the poster for MSG Night 2. And we'll change it here. We'll line it up. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the poster for Night 2. All right. And so this poster is from Luke Martin. You got some ants. Is that a speakeasy? No, that's actually a bar. That's actually a restaurant. I think. I don't know. But this is another great print. I think this has been one of the best tours for prints. Now, there's been tours that have had more in-demand prints, but the lows were not low for this tour, especially when you take away the Methane. You take away the Methane, and the lows are not even close to being as low. All right, we're gonna get John set up. I just saw him pop in. Let's get him ready, and we'll talk to him about this show and appreciate him coming on. I know every time John comes to New York, a lot of friends, a lot of people that he does not see, but maybe once or twice a year. So he wanted to catch up with some friends, but still had time to make the post show stream. Let's see. Let me get that link right again. And also, we want to wish John a happy belated birthday. Let's see if we can get him on here. All right, John, you are live. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Tell us about this show. What'd you think?
Overall, it was a great show. The opener, I wish they would have flipped that opener, the Trippin' Billy's Old Dirt Hill opener. I felt like it would have gave the show a stronger start. To me, when a show starts off with a slower song or a lesser popular song, to me it kind of like gets the show started on a bad foot. But when they put that Billy's in the 2 slot, then we got out to the races, and then it was good from that point. But I think the show, if they just would have flipped those 2 songs, put Old Dirt Hit on that 2 spot, I think it would have took the show to a different notch. Because when you start off with a strong opener, it just sets the tone for the show. If that makes any sense to you.
Yeah, and I wonder, maybe with it being a Friday night, people kind of arriving in just in time. Maybe they wanted to start off with that song, but I agree. Billy's opening up changes the tone. You could still throw that Old Dirt Hill in the 2 spot, and Dreaming Tree gets the 3rd spot. How was the sound tonight?
I was in the pit, so the sound was pretty well balanced. I was like right in front of Tim, between Tim and Dave. And the sound was really good. The electric guitars are really turned up loud, especially when Warren Haynes came out. It was like they just turned them all the way up to the max. But it was great. It was a really well mixed show tonight.
Okay, yeah, you're kind of. We could hear a little bit of what you said, but it kind of was some buffering there. But I will say the MSG show, and there was even a in the Ants marching form. Okay, I think he's gonna try to come back on. We'll see if we can connect him again. But the Ants marching form in a cross. I heard other people, and even in my post, the sound, the mix at Mohegan Night 1 and 2 was interesting, but especially night 2, because I was more in a closer to the stage and kind of in a position where it's like, okay, I should be feeling more of this. But it was a rough mix. All right, we're going to try to connect John back. It was a very rough mix at Mohegan, especially that night 2 show. But to me, the show was so great that the mix did not overpower the greatness of the show, and it appears like they made adjustments. I know from the Ants format, it looks like feedback was sent. And I think that's important if we can find positive ways to get feedback to certain crew members or bands. Hey, this was our experience. That's what it matters. We could complain and diss and throw shots all we want, but the most important thing is actually getting change there. So let's see. I'm going to just make sure we can try to connect John back. Here. All right, John, can you hear me?
Yes.
All
yeah,
right.
I'm sorry about that. I was having connection issues. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you better. So
good.
We were talking about the sound, electric guitars turned up. What did you think of Warren's little 2-step of Neil Young covers with the band?
I enjoy both. It was my first Cortez, so it was a highlight for me just because I haven't gotten Cortez yet before. So
Okay.
I was really excited for that one. The Down by the River was good. Really enjoyed the guitar solo from Warren Haynes. He brought a lot to the show tonight, and it was a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting any guests until maybe night 2, night 3, but now I'm thinking maybe we'll get some guests sprinkled out through all 3 nights. I know we're definitely getting guests night 3, but I guess we're gonna. I'm pretty sure Tedeschi Truck's probably gonna show up tomorrow, maybe a Robert Randolph or somebody like that, or a Trombone Shorty. So that's what really has me excited for the weekend, is really just the endless possibilities of the guest spots with everybody being in town, like Trey, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is for Warren to come out night 1, it sets the tone that there's going to be more people coming night 2, and of course night 3 will have a lot of. And I think playing Cortez tonight. Initially, I was thinking like yesterday. I was like, they're probably going to do Cortez night 3. I told my Jojo, our first guest, I was like, you might as well just stay for all 3. But it makes sense now, because in the scope of how quick the sets are going to be at Soulshine, the long form Warren playing is going to be obviously night 1. It happened. Possibly night 2, you may have some guests pop in on a longer song, and then night 3, they're going to have to, they're not going to be playing these 20-minute jams. They're going to be having to really, at most, maybe 10-minute jams, because they got to get to the next song.
A long shot for Sunday's Exodus.
I would love to see Dodo with Trey popping in with the band, and it doesn't take that long. So Dave, if you're watching this, Mr. Matthews, please free Dodo and play it with the full band. It'll be the first full band Dodo ever, because it's only been Dave and friends.
I wouldn't complain at that at all. I'm chasing Dodo myself, because I didn't go to any Friends shows in 04.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, hopefully that's the case. Did you see if the posters sold out?
It was not. The foil weekend was not sold out. The weekend foil was not sold out, and the show poster was not sold out. The only thing that was sold out was the show foil, and this was at the main entrance on going into MSG.
Interesting. Do you know the run of like the regular show, like just say the regular show poster, non-foil?
I don't know the run, but I'm probably going to assume probably 1,400 to 15, maybe.
Okay.
That's just an assumption, because with it being that many left, but it wasn't a very popular poster either. So
really,
I didn't see too many people like up in arms over it when it dropped. And when the link dropped, I mean, you could get it like 4 or 5 minutes after the link had dropped, and that's very rare that you can get it within like 5 minutes or so after the link drops at 3 o'clock or whatever.
Really? See, maybe that's my bias, but I like Mumford prints.
To me, it looked very similar to the Alpine print, like in the color scheme. It was kind of like that Methane copy and paste style of poster where, it has the same color scheme. Like you change some of the picture in it, but it still looks the same. Like if you squint your eyes, they all look the same to me. So I thought it was a cool poster. I bought it on the drop. I wasn't going to wait in line for it.
Mm-hmm.
I skipped that weekend poster. There's no way I'm paying $75 for a Methane poster. Not happening.
No, sir, not me.
Nah, they bugging on that one. So I'll pick it up when it's like 40 or 30. When someone like who bought it like a full, probably bought 2 or 3, thinking they could flip it, and then I'll buy it in January, February when they have it. And everything must go sell.
Yeah, I thought with the Mumford to have an MSG version of that. That's why I was like, okay, if there's fans, obviously we were both at Alpine in that tornado. And but a lot of fans from New York City don't go to Alpine. Some do. The very small, the heavy travelers. That's 1% of the 1% of the 1% of the venue tonight. That's from New York City area that went to Alpine. But everyone else, okay, this is my shot to get a New York City version. I think where Methane falls in is like there's been 5 different versions per city of the same poster.
Methane, I think they're just creatively bankrupt at this point. I mean, I can't. That's the only way I can describe it. I think that may sound a little too harsh, but to me, their posters are just getting very bland, and uh, I don't. They just don't do anything for me anymore. But they've been around for what 15 years almost doing DMB posters.
Yes.
So I mean, at some point, if you're going to continue to do posters year after year after year after year, I guess you're going to eventually lose inspiration and just have to start, copy and pasting certain ideas. But I mean, now that these posters are $60, $75, $150 for a foil, and they're not that hot, I just don't need it. Especially when you can just get it later for like $50. I'm not going to get to the venue at 4:00 in the hot sun, wait for it, and then what I'm saying, I'm just not doing that no more.
Yeah, I think any poster collective, any group of poster artists or artists in general, if they did the volume that Methane did for the years they did, it would probably be worse. We'd probably be sick of Mumford more. But the reality is we've had Methane for so long. They're still making posters, and as fans and as consumers, especially in this economy, especially with the price of the brick going up, we need to allow other studios, allow other people who have shown they can make some better posters and reduce them down to one. This tour was perfect. They have one print and it's a weekend print. So if you're only going
$75, I don't know why that. I don't know what justifies the $15 the markup on the weekend print.
Well, I agree, but I think they're just, if they can get a certain amount of people between the gorge markups and MSG, and it could just be other fees for the cost of doing business in MSG. I don't know. But yeah, I think
last year the weekend print at Seaville, that was a nice weekend print that Methane did with the lady and the man.
Yes.
That was $75. That was a nice weekend print. I gave it to them on that one. That was a dope weekend print. But this one just looks like a copy and paste.
Okay. And the hammer, we'll try to get to you tomorrow because I got to wrap this up. I got a long day tomorrow. But any other? Oh, let's actually. Do you have a couple minutes, John?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, we're gonna close out the show. If you guys have not heard, there's a couple of things here that have gone on in the concert industry that will impact 2025. The first one, many of you guys may not have known this, but the state of Massachusetts passed legislation, and that legislation is going to stop any sort of public resale online of tickets to a secondary market, meaning you can buy on the Ticketmaster exchange, which is also combined with the regular tickets that are available for purchase. So in theory, that's what this new law is going to be. So even cash or trade will not be able to, theoretically, from what I'm being told and reading, it's very new stuff. They're not going to be able to have a marketplace for Massachusetts shows. You buy through the primary, whether it's a regular ticket for sale or resale. And the reasoning for this, at least, is what they're saying is, I know this from working at StubHub. Tickets, I used to work at StubHub years ago, and they're actually 10 times worse than they were back then. That when people buy tickets from the secondary, there are issues where sometimes the ticket doesn't work or doesn't come on time. A friend did not get their ticket on time. StubHub is it's even more worse. So they're trying to prevent that by having everything through the primary. What do you think of that idea of just having a Ticketmaster or primary box office resale plus the regular tickets for face value?
I don't like it because, one, there's a lot of like baseball games, basketball games, like the day of, you can get tickets dirt cheap. So that's going to take away that, you want to take your family to a game and you may not have the $100, whatever the ticket costs, but day of the game, an hour before, those prices drop.
Yes.
So I think that's going to hurt, some of those people that like to play the waiting game. And that's my only concern. And then, it gives Ticketmaster more of a monopoly then, because that'd be your only avenue really to buy most tickets is Ticketmaster, because they're already scalping their own tickets. And so they set the prices. So they'll find a way around it. So I don't know. I think you're kind of cutting off your nose to spite the face in this, in a sense. So it really doesn't make sense to do it, because I just don't trust Ticketmaster to do the right thing. They'll just raise their prices. They'll get their money. The house will always win. So I don't think it's going to really help anybody. It's just going to hurt the consumer even more when you take away options.
Yeah, and I think my concern is, again, as somebody who has seen, I literally was working in department that made sure if tickets did not come on time, if they were the wrong tickets, if someone double sold, a seller calls and says they double sold, I had to find solutions. I've been on the phone with people whose tickets did not work at the gate. So I know all that stuff from a decade ago when that was my job. And having everything kind of go to an underground black market or go to Craigslist only makes it worse. I think StubHub and some of those businesses have gone down the tubes. My job, effectively, I left years ago, 2017, 16, somewhere around there. But in that time, what used to be my job to truly find a solution, that's a computer now. Here's 2 tickets. Here's an alternative option, or you get a refund. It's not even a person trying to help a fan. So I know things have gone downhill, but even so, I would rather buy on cash or trade. And there's ways to stop and prevent even a payment till we know that ticket works, than to have people on the black market. And then as a Yankees fan that goes to Fenway every year, there's always a great deal before. Even with DMB, there's always going to be tickets, and you can find friends who have tickets. With a Red Sox game or a Celtics game, you may not have the connections to get a good seat. You don't know that CEO or that corporate, season ticket account to be able to buy that seat from them, unless that's your job. And most people don't have jobs that have tickets at a Celtics game. So I just think there's some concerns, and we'll see how everything plays out. But I think at the bare minimum, you should at least allow cash or trade. I get even shutting down StubHub and SeatGeek, but at least cash or trade as another option for fans. All right, next up, we have Deer Creek and SPAC. First, let's go to Deer Creek. They're going to be charging $20 for parking in advance. I believe it's $25 day of show for what used to be free general parking. They also will be adding on a rule where you cannot bring in your own lawn chairs. You have to pay for a lawn chair as a separate fee. If you want to sit down in a chair, you have to rent one. You cannot bring them in. What do you think of that for Deer Creek specifically?
Deer Creek's one of the worst parking lots on the tour. I don't like. What am I paying the $20 for? I mean, I don't mind paying for parking if I'm going to get out in 5 minutes. If you let me cut the line, blah blah blah, I don't mind paying for convenience. Mm-hmm. But what am I paying the $20 for? I mean, it's a tough sell. I mean, if you're going to go to the show, because there's no other option. You have to park if you're going to go there. If you're not like staying close by, because you're going to just spend that money on an Uber anyway. So it's kind of like they got you by the balls, for a lack of better words, because you've been to Deer Creek. You can't just walk there from anywhere, really.
Right.
So I mean, you got to park. So that it is what it is, and the tailgate's such a big part of the scene there too. So
it is.
I mean, the cost of everything is going up. Like you said, the brick is going up. So I guess they're just baking in that parking. The lawn chair thing, that ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't know much about that, but I mean,
for those that don't know, John Dix, he gets the premium. He doesn't buy warehouse premium every show, but he tries to get those nice seats very close to the action outside of the gorge, where I was shocked, but he loves the gorge because that's just
like the lawn of the gorge.
It's a one-of-a-kind lawn. I'll say this. I think there's some concerns with Deer Creek. The first is going into the Deer Creek DMB groups and social media. It appears that years ago, there would be fans that used to park in a neighborhood right by the venue. And we know from our Deer Creek post show stream, some fans did park in like a complex for the poster part of it because they couldn't even park early. They were gonna pay. Some fans would pay to park early just to get in early, but they wouldn't let them in early. And so there's a concern that you have even if people can afford the $20, the principle of it, you may have some nearby streets with people parked by outside of people's lawns. And you have when this happened in a previous era of Deer Creek, there were drunk people all over this neighborhood right by the venue. And that put a hamper on someone who actually lived in that neighborhood. It's like, this was not cool. If I wasn't going to the show and I got all these people in my lawn, it's an issue. So I think that's one thing. As far as the lawn chair thing, this is something that Deer Creek announced and SPAC. And I'll say this, for Deer Creek, I can understand how fans feel that pinch of the wallet, because a lot of fans for Deer Creek, they get lawn seats. That's really all they have in their budget, especially with that summertime. Having that extra lawn cost may prevent them from going both nights. But I will say for SPAC, there is a absolute need to stop people from bringing in their own lawn chairs.
Yeah, SPAC for sure.
The line, so SPAC has the same thing that Deer Creek's doing, and many venues have already shifted over to this in the last 5 years or so, where you have to pay. You cannot bring your own lawn chairs. So if you have never been to SPAC, SPAC is the physical lawn has been expanded to have buildings for different bathrooms, for food options. And so there's not a lot of space. And what happens is, if everyone stood up or sat down, sometimes blankets do take up space, but if everyone just was sitting on the grass or standing without a chair, you could fit much more comfortably. But a lot of people who have lawn seats end up bringing their own lawn chairs in. So you have exits to the bathroom. If you're in the pavilion, you need to leave to go to the bathroom. And you're especially the balcony, you have to walk down and try to mosey through people that are all taking up the walkways with lawn chairs. The other thing is the entry into the gates is hampered at SPAC specifically. The way there's only a couple of entrances, the way the venue's set up, the lawn chairs and the check of those lawn chairs takes up time as well. And so
if you don't get the SPAC early, you're going to be late.
Yeah. And it takes about, if you're looking at the venue, you're in the back of the lawn and you're looking at the pavilion and you say, hey, I need to go to my seat. It will easily take 5 minutes for you to get through. So I think the less chairs, the better. And I think charging would deter people from buying a chair and potentially just filling up this whole area. And at least if they have their own inventory, they can say, hey, we're only going to sell X amount of lawn chairs, and it is a safety hazard. So I think this is safer for SPAC. I understand the pinch of the wallet for Deer Creek, but I will say overall, especially with Deer Creek, some of the charges, like the charging for parking, will actually encourage people to tailgate together. So maybe you load up that car, it's $5 a person. And if you think about football, to tailgate in the cold here in New England, in Foxborough, it's at least $40 the last time I went. I haven't even been since the pandemic. So a lot of venues outside of Deer Creek, even in the Indy Metro, you go to Lucas Oil, you're going to be paying money if you're seeing a stadium show at Lucas Oil or you're going to a football game. So $20 isn't that much. As much as, there's certain frustrations people have with Live Nation, it isn't that much, but I understand for many Americans right now, things are not cheap. Things are not cheap. The prices have gone up. Wages are not going up as much. And some fans have had to reduce the season they're in, medical bills, debt from houses or cars or emergency payments or other things are leaving a lot of people struggling right now in this country. So that extra 20, 30, 60, 70 bucks with all those things added will take its toll. Well, hey, John, thanks for coming on. Go get some
Appreciate
rest.
your family.
And we got night 2 and night 3. I'll see you night 3 when I'm out there.
I'll be good, my friend.
All right. Peace.
All right.
All right. So that was John. All right. Oh, this has been a long episode. This is almost as long as the set list. But there you have it. That's the post-show stream for tonight. Just to give you some updates for the next 2 post-show streams. Tomorrow, I will be on around the same time. Sunday, I will be going. So I probably won't get back until maybe 2 in the morning. But whenever if I'm feeling okay, I will do the post show stream. Then I probably will because I have to work Monday. But I will by any means this will be 3 in the morning that I'm on, 2:30, 3 in the morning that I'm actually live. But you can always watch the replay at any time. So definitely subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and head over to the next morning or the next afternoon or at dinner time on Monday. Check out the post show stream because I'll be giving my perspective and hoping to get some videos in as well from you guys. But thank you guys for watching the post show stream. Stay tuned. I will be having more content. The Guilford Night 1 video. I'm also uploading the Mohegan videos, to YouTube. I'm prioritizing the night 2 because I just believe that's the better show. I'm uploading segments when I go to bed right after this. I'm going to overnight start the upload of the largest chunk of the show that I recorded. And then I will look to get those up. And then night 1, I'm just going to upload it all at once as a single cam. And so initially you guys are going to get some of the videos that I shot with my audio. And then a couple months from now, maybe by Christmas time, I hope to get the Mohegan videos close to done to have those out. And I'm in the Guilford videos right now are in progress. Guilford Night 1 is a little more delayed than I hoped for, but I will try to get that out as soon as possible. Maybe in time for Thanksgiving, but don't quote me on that. This is your boy ConstantViz34. This is the DMB post show stream. If you want to be on this stream, the best way is to contact me and send me a video after the show. We can do that via social media. I can figure out another way via Dropbox or some other way for you to send me a video, or you post it to your social media and tag me because I want to hear your perspectives, just as you guys heard today from various people. And also I make content capturing the best of this band, Dave Matthews Band, in the live format with the help of you and others. I collect video clips, put them together, reach out to the taping community, get some taper audio to just have you either experience what it's like, give you a glimpse of what it's like to go to a show, or if you've been to that show, if you were at that Mohegan show, that SPAC show, hey, you can relive these moments through all of the great clips that we have. I'm going to close out this show with, I was jamming to Cortez. I was playing as they were playing live, so I was kind of freestyling. And here's a little bit of Cortez to close you out with me featuring ConstantViz34 as the third electric guitarist, as if there needs to be more electric guitars over Dave. I decided to come and join the fun. So thank you guys for watching, and peace until tomorrow or later today.
came dancing across the water. Cortez, Cortez, what a killer. Warren Haynes.